Have you ever dated somebody not for who they are, but for what you think they will become? Have you ever done that? That's what I call falling in love with the potential, not the person. And this is one easy way to set yourself up for heartbreak. Why are you falling in love with fantasies? Why are you falling in love with what you think the person might be? What if they are not what you want them to be? Then what happens? That's when heartbreak sets in. In every relationship, our partners want the best for us, or we also want the best for our partners. But we have to be realistic. There are certain things or certain fantasies that we think or expect in our relationship that, trust me, no matter what, you will not get that. And if you don't get those things, that's when heartbreak sets in. Today, I'll break down why people fall into these traps, how it affects their relationship, and what they should have done instead. If you're interested in knowing all these, then watch this video. The first thing I want to talk about is something called the fantasy trap. The fantasy trap means you are falling in love with someone's future and not their present. So, for example, you expect your partner to be a certain kind of man. He's not there yet, but you expect that he will be this type of person. Or maybe you've seen some behaviors or some goals or some growth in some other man or some other woman that you expect your partner to be that type of person. So it's the fantasy. You are fantasizing that your partner will be this person even though they are not there yet. So you are falling in love in your partner's future but not their present. So for example, you meet somebody who is very, very ambitious but not consistent. You fall for the idea that one day they will become successful and disciplined. The problem here is that the love turns into a project and not a partnership. So that person has become your project and you're making sure that that person becomes what you want them to be. And that's a problem. The second thing I'll talk about is ignoring red flag. When you focus so much on potentials, you ignore bad behaviors. Because you expect or you think that this person will be this kind of person in the future. When they are doing something wrong, you turn a blind eye on it, you ignore it, and that red flag becomes a very big deal or very big issue in your relationship. So for example, you're with somebody who avoids commitment. The person doesn't want commitment at all. But you tell yourself that, oh, when they become successful, they want to settle down with me. If somebody is not successful, if somebody likes commitment or is ready to commit, even if they are not successful, you can tell that this is somebody who wants to commit. But if the person doesn't want commitment, it's not success that will make them commit. So the silent killer of this relationship is whenever there's a problem, you rather sweep it under the rug instead of you to address these problems so you can find the way forward. Sweep it under the grass, hoping that it won't come out again, hoping that your relationship will run smoothly without these problems. And that is a silent killer of relationships. The third thing I want to talk about is you automatically become a fixer. There are some people who only feel valuable when they are helping out or they are fixing someone. Your relationship is not supposed to be a project work. Some people are naturally drawn to people they will have to fix or people they can fix. That's a problem. You shouldn't be a fixer. So for example, you push your partner to go back to school, to learn courses, to change habits, certain habits that they have. You are forcing them to change it whilst they are not interested. And the danger this might cause is it creates imbalance. One becomes a project and one becomes a fixer. You are not on a rescue mission. You can't rescue anybody. So if care is not taken, you realize that you are drained because every time you are fixing this person and there's no balance in that relationship. The fourth thing I want to talk about is the resentment cycle. So over time, you get frustrated because you realize that your partner is not that kind of person you've built in your head. Whatever you think or whatever ideal partner you want is actually in your head, and that's not your partner. So for example, in your head, you expect him to be some big or huge CEO, but they are actually changing jobs and content with the job they have. They don't want to do more, and that becomes a problem in your relationship. So this leads to nagging, disappointment, you are constantly nagging because you are actually holding them to standards they never signed up for. Maybe your partner doesn't even know that this is the kind of man you want him to be. It's all in your head. And you're seeing him to be the CEO that he's not. He's okay with his average job. He's okay with his 9 to 5 or whatever he's doing. If he gets something small, he's okay with that. But you actually want them to be this big person and they are not. So you end up nagging, you end up disappointed, and the relationship becomes stressful and you get tired of it, and that's a problem. The fifth thing I want to talk about is losing yourself. When you invest so much time into someone's potentials, you end up forgetting your own growth. You end up neglecting yourself and you realize that you are losing yourself in the process. So for example, you spend years molding this partner into someone you want them to be. Then you neglect your hobbies, you neglect your own goals, you neglect your own growth. Then you realize that where you were 5 years ago, you are still there, whilst you are trying to let this person become this type of person that you want them to be. So one day you just wake up and realize that you've poured so much in building someone whilst you are not where you want to be, and that affects you. You start losing yourself. So instead of falling in love with potential, choose a partner based on shared values and compatibility. If you're compatible with this person, you move with this person. If your values align or your goals align, this is somebody you can build a great relationship with. Don't focus on the potential or what you think it might be. So look for patterns, not promises. Consistency matters more than dreams. So if the person is consistent in becoming a better person, it will rather help you and it will rather mold the relationship into where you want it to be. So for example, instead of you saying that he will be an amazing person when he gets his act together, ask yourself, is he showing you love now? Is he doing things that shows that he wants to be a better person? Is she making changes or adjusting or adding value to your relationship? That is what you should focus more on. Because healthy love is built on acceptance, not assumptions. Don't assume. Accept a person for who they are. If both of your values align, you realize that both of you can mold each other, or because of the same values or the shared values, both of you will end up growing because you have the same value or you have the same goals. You set same goals for yourself. So falling in love with potentials, it sounds romantic to be honest, but in reality, it's actually a setup for disappointment. So if you don't want to get disappointed, don't fall in love with potentials. So you deserve somebody who loves you as you are, someone who shows you with actions that they love you, but not with promises. So another question for you, my viewers, have you ever fallen in love with potential? If so, how did it go? Please comment below. We are all learning. We all want to learn from your experiences. Don't be shy at all. If you've fallen in love with potential, kindly comment below and let us know how it went. When you learn to love reality and not fantasies, you realize that you would find relationships that last, relationships that you can build something great on. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed to this channel. We have amazing content coming up for you. Don't forget to share this video to anyone who loves content like this. Until we meet again in another video. Bye.
With memories, I'm filled with longing, thinking of you, our friendship a strong bond.